My next story is called Weekend Outing Part 2 and is a continuation of Weekend Outing Part 1 in case you missed it. Okay, so as my mom continued to pick gum from her gums, we realized that the coffee shop was closing. Instead of calling it a night and heading home, my father decided to try his luck at another coffee shop that would be opened for another hour. Maybe he could somehow order caffeine without my mom noticing. Who was he kidding? No sooner had we entered the shop that my mom began asking everybody what they wanted to drink. Our family friend said he really didn't care. I didn't care either. And my dad said, surprise, surprise, that he wanted coffee. Boris, what is wrong with you? No coffee for you, my mother explained. Fine, my father snapped back and went to sit down at a nearby table. Oh God, I hope I don't run into anyone I know, I kept thinking over and over again. My mother ordered 4 cups of decaffeinated. It was getting late at night. We didn't want that caffeine rush. Cups of Earl Grey tea. My dad was relatively content because he actually likes Earl Grey tea. It's not the tasteless junk that herbal tea is, apparently. So he was actually pretty happy. Now this coffee shop is not my favorite place to relax. It sometimes attracts a rather bizarre array of people. For example, when we entered the shop, one person was actually sleeping on the windowsill, which I found rather bizarre. As we sat down and actually became more relaxed, all of a sudden loud music began to play very loudly. And this wasn't your average rock and roll oldies station playing Wild Things, do-do-do-do. It was strange, annoying, yet somehow soothing sounds that got under your skin and became louder and louder with each passing moment. My mother was not feeling it, and she went up to the worker at the shop, who happened to be a young guy in his 20s with a ponytail and an emotionless expression on his face that seemed to say, I just don't give a shit, man. Can you make it less? My mother told him as she pointed at her ears. Now really, what does that mean? Make what less? The size of his ears? Granted, the guy smiled. Oh yes, he said, but the music seemed to get louder and more whiny. He didn't understand me, right? My mother wondered as she sat back down at the table. Before I could respond, she was out of her seat again, always looking for an adventure. Did you understand what I said? My mom asked the guy. I want you to make the radio less, she proceeded to clarify. Oh yeah, I got it, said straight chilling without a care in the world dude, who's probably only concerned with closing the coffee shop in about 20 minutes. My mother came back to the table and shrugged her shoulders. He said he understood. I don't know. Music's still loud, right? Gee, I think it got a bit softer, our family friend responded. In fact, the music did, to my surprise, get softer. Never a dull moment, I tell you. Next, one of the workers seemed to go right around us, straight for the bathroom door, and began to open and close it as if trying to send us a hint that it was time for us to go. Every 5 minutes, opening and closing the door. He also went to the back door of the coffee shop and began doing the same thing. It was getting rather annoying. And as the lights began to dim, we actually, to my big surprise, took it as a hint that it was time to leave this remarkable establishment. Another Saturday night was coming to an end. The sweet memories of those family gatherings.